All hail our Decepticon overlords. Through the mists of war, he rises. This is the Maketoys Striker Noir, aka Nemesis Prime. Now, I absolutely adore and love this figure. I think it's a really interesting take on the lore and mythos from the cross-dimension line. Obviously, they're all hyper-stylized, so they're reminiscent of their G1 counterparts, but not quite. There's just enough differences, as you can probably see through the viewfinder right now. There's just enough differences to make them, intriguing and new. When it comes to collecting Transformers, I know there's going to be a lot of purists out there. Some prefer, the G1, iterations. Some like the new iterations, which you've got from the Siege line, as well as a few third-party ones. Now, when I was personally looking for, a Transformer figure to have, I came across the Maketoys Cross Dimension line. And after talking with a few people, obviously who collect Transformers or in the fandom, I kind of settled on these guys. To me, they look absolutely incredible, and the fact they've also got an alternate truck form, I think, is amazing in itself. I will include some pictures right now of his truck form. Hopefully you've all had a good look at the truck form. The only reason I'm including pictures and not actually transforming this is because I keep these in robot mode. I think they look very good in their robot mode, and me personally, I would not want to display them in truck mode, as you can probably tell, with all the weapons and things on him. Now, the weaponry come from the deluxe pack, which you can buy, and I know the deluxe versions can vary in price. I know there's some people out there that are selling deluxe versions from as low as £60, all the way brand new up to 170. But as I've said in previous videos, it's all down to what you are prepared yourself and what you want to spend on a figure. Anyway, to the actual figure itself, it is a reminiscent design of the G1 Prime. Obviously it's Nemesis Prime, but as he's based on the Prime look from this line, he's hyper stylized. So I imagine, this version of the Prime chassis, shall we say, has, he's gone from Cybertron, he's come to Earth, all that's kicked off on Earth, and now he's come back to Cybertron. So he's got the elements and hints, of the original humanoid mix from Cybertron, and then come back and he retains some of the alien traits yet again, so to speak, from Cybertron. So it's a bit hard to describe, but that is my headcanon for it, and the reason why he doesn't look quite G1. Obviously it's going to put off a few collectors, but for me it makes it unique, and the mere fact that we have the Nemesis Prime variant, as you see now, I think is even more incredible. They're so highly articulated, it is beyond belief. You can put this guy in so many poses. Now, as I said, you can see a lot of weaponry adored over him. Now that comes from the deluxe version pack. Now they do have quite a lot of weapons you can put on them. I did put one or two on the Prime figure, which I've got next door at the moment. I've given him the giant looking axe type thing, because obviously axes are more more associated with the G1 Prime, I think, personally, so I wanted to give this guy a sword. Now, unfortunately, it didn't come with the, shall we say, Gundam sabers, but the weaponry that did come, I think, was actually pretty cool, because originally they only come with, like the little cab gun. I'll just go get it for you now, just so you can see what the cab gun actually looks like. And that is the cab gun. Now, it's pretty much basically the same as the Optimus Prime or Striker Manus variant, apart from it's black, obviously, for Nemesis Prime. But originally, if you bought the standalone versions and only got the one gun, I can understand why they do, the deluxe upgraded version, which gives you a ton and ton of weaponry, because I display mine with the additional weaponry, and I will admit, they look really badass. In the deluxe pack, there is a gun that looks very, very much like Prime's Ion, blaster repeater, and it's a shame that the base versions only do come with this, but for the sake of money and sales, yeah, I do understand why some companies would, release your base version and you got the, the deluxe version with extra parts. But anyway, onto the articulation with this guy. This guy is so articulated, I have trouble finding words to express how articulated this guy is, so I'll just go through some of the motions. He's got pretty much a full 360 head swivel, okay. The fact that, you know, you can move him up and down, left and right. He's got some awesome waist movement. I mean, check this out. That's why I'm, you know, lost for words to a degree, but you can pretty much do the splits. You know, have him on one knee, put him on, you know, one knee up, so you can have him almost in a pose like this. The feet come out and really are nicely articulated, so if you're having him standing up like I have been, there is no issues. As you can see there, you look at the feet, look at that. So if you want him standing up, you just got to angle the feet a bit and he will stand up. But don't forget, with all the additional weaponry and everything I've got on him, he is a tad top heavy, so getting him into a pose can be a bit tricky. But once you do find, you know, find that pose, you can put him back into it. The arms are exactly the same. They're articulated to such a degree I almost weep with joy. It's a strange thing to say, but the articulation on this guy is incredible. And I think for, you know, a third-party company doing figures like this that are comparable, you know, in size and scale to the Siege lines or the smaller, you know, masterpiece ones you can get, I just think it's amazing. I think it's criminal that some third-party companies don't actually hold an official license and make the figures, because some licenses, you know, say for instance Hot Toys, things like that, you know, Hasbro and all that, they have obviously the licenses, the proper official licenses, but they seem to make crapper figures. It's like with Hot Toys, as time's gone on, prices have gone through the roof, but the head sculpts, the quality of the outfits are just crap, but they demand, you know, £300-400. It is absolutely insanity as far as I'm concerned. Take for instance one of the probably best looking head sculpts I've ever seen, which was on Storm Shadow, the Hot Toys Storm Shadow. I think it was incredible, but it's actually undervalued, and the, you know, extra guns and the equipment and everything you get was absolutely insane. I loved owning Storm Shadow, but I got rid of it mainly for the mere fact I'm, you know, moving on to collecting different things. But like I said, when it comes to price points with articulation and things like that, accessories, add-ons, some third-party companies are doing such better jobs than the real companies themselves. I just wish these companies would get the licenses and do them. I really do. It's like So Toys. They've been doing some really, really amazing looking figures. You've got the, you know, the art series that do, you know, the Stallone Dread, the Urban Dread. A few other figures are out there. You've got VTS that do, you know, Mad Max and things like that. They're just absolutely incredible and stunning to look at. And I think it's a criminal, you know, a criminal offence that these companies don't have the proper licenses, because they do better jobs than, you know, the proper companies themselves. But anyway, that's a little rant. We'll move over for now. We'll go back to Striker. On your shelf, if you decide to get this guy, you will not regret it. Like I said, he scales very, very well. Don't forget the base version only comes with one gun, so if you are going to get any version, I would recommend getting the deluxe, so you get all the extra weapons. And because of the way the hands and everything, let me just show you on this one. Because of the way the hands and everything are set up, you can open and close the hands, but they've all got little grooves like that. So you can chop and change weaponry. So Prime could hold these weapons. Yeah, all the little, like the giant's saber in the back, just so you can see it. It fits on a modular little clip, and because it's literally the same mould as Prime, you can fit those weapons onto Prime too. So if you're thinking of getting a companion figure, or you're thinking of just getting a version of Nemesis Prime, I would recommend this guy wholeheartedly, 100%. I'm not a true Transformer collector, and yet I will recommend him all day, every day, 24/7. I will recommend this guy. He's an amazing figure and worthy of anyone's Transformer collection. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this little mini review on Striker Noir, aka Nemesis Prime. I hope you are safe where you are. Much love from my family to yours.